Hi everyone and welcome back to Northwestern Models TV, and today I'm going to show you how to put together the O-gauge Great Western Railway type benches from Skytrex. So let's get started. So as with all Skytrex kits, it's best just to get the pack open and get stuck in there so we can see what we've actually got in here. Now each of these packs should make up at least 2 benches, I think. So let's see what we've got. 4, 5, 6, and some back pieces. Yep. So we've got 6 of the leg uprights, and actually have the GWR crest on them. The old roundel is on there as well. So there's 3 for each bench. We've got a bench seat, which on the bottom has little tabs on it for you to put the bench rests, the legs onto it, to help locate it. And then we've got some bits of plastic card for the bench backs, which again should locate nicely on the actual bench legs. So I'll just go through and clean up the white metal parts, and then we can get stuck into actually assembling one of these benches. Right, so we're now ready to assemble our bench. Now what I've done is where the uprights attached to the white metal bench seat, I've given it a good clean up with the file, just to again give it the glue that we're going to use, something to allow it to stick a bit better, a good rough surface for it. And the glue that we are going to use is the Deluxe Materials Rocket Rapid glue, purely because it's a super glue. It's fairly quick setting, and it's ideal for white metal kits and multimedia kits, which this actually is when we're going to put the backrest on, which is these 2 pieces of plastic card there. So it is very simple to put together. It does require a bit of patience. Quite simply, all you need to do is glue, or if you're adept enough with soldering iron, you can solder the parts together. But a little bit of glue, you don't need a vast amount, because otherwise it takes even longer to set. But a bit of glue, and then the upright, and you just stick it in place. Now you probably need to hold it in situ for a little while for the glue to grab. But the main trick with this is going to be afterwards, is getting all of these legs lined up so it all sits quite nicely together. It does take a little while for the glue sometimes to go off. It should be fairly fast acting, but sometimes it does take a little bit. These particular benches, these Great Western benches, are ideal for a very large number of railways based on the Western region, because obviously they were introduced by the Great Western fairly early on, so will have been probably just before the Second World War, so mid-30s, and they still have them in on a number of stations today, particularly some of the larger ones. I remember a few years ago when I was down that way, seeing them at Newton Abbot and Totnes and a few other stations along down there, so certainly down into Devon and Cornwall. So even if your O-gauge layout is running the latest, or not necessarily the latest, but HSTs and 158s and so on, and you could certainly make use of these Great Western benches. you could say it is a little bit fiddly. It's not the easiest of things, but it does go together pretty well. It is mainly just waiting for the glue to go off enough for you to move on to the next piece or the next part with this. It's not instant, but nothing in railway modelling should be instant. It's a lovely hobby and quite relaxing. So you might just have to sort of hold yourself in a position for a while. I mean, if you wanted to, you could create a small jig, I suppose, perhaps out of some cardboard to hold everything in place, so you don't actually have to physically hold it like I am doing now. There we are. And hopefully we can get that over, without it all falling apart. So we've now got our bench seat in place, and having looked at some reference photographs, when we get to the backrest, now the backrest is in two parts, and we have two pieces of plastic card for this. We've got a narrow piece and we've got a slightly thicker piece. It is in the width of them. Now the narrower of the two, which is quite obvious when you put them fairly close together, goes on the bottom rung, and the thicker one goes on the top. So to do this, I'm going to lay the bench down on its back and put a little bit of glue on each, just above each rung. Again, we don't need vast amounts on there, just enough to hold it. It's only going to be a piece of plastic card. And I'm very carefully just going to try my best to line it up lengthwise with these, and you might need to wiggle it about a bit to get it on there in the right place, and then as before, just hold it just to help it catch. Because it's very difficult to get the uprights perfectly in line. As I said, if you created a jig, then you probably would be able to do a slightly better job, but for the purposes of this video, it's going to be good enough for what we want. So again, just give it a little bit of time to let the glue go off a bit, and then we'll get the upper beam on as well. So again, exactly the same. Until it's plastic hard when it bounces away from you like that. Right. Get it up there, and just try and line it up so it sort of matches the one underneath, so it looks pretty decent, and just put a little bit of pressure on it just to get the glue to grab it enough to hold it. And once it's done that essentially is the bench built. So you can move on to the second one that's in the back, which goes together in exactly the same way. Yeah, so there we are. That's how to put together the Great Western Benches. So there we go. That is how to put together the Great Western Railway style benches in O-gauge. Now it's a very simple kit, a little bit fiddly to put together, but nothing too strenuous. And like I said, if you were to make up a little jig or something with some cardboard, you could probably make it a little bit better than I have. But you know, the principle of me making it is there. So all that's left for this now is a coat of paint, and it's ready to go on to a layout. Colour scheme wise, just have a look at photographs for your particular era. I mean, most of them will probably be in a Great Western Railway chocolate and cream type livery, or the stone and buff livery of the earlier days. If you're up to a more modern image, you might find it in blue and white, or other similar colours like that. So just have a look and see what livery scheme you want to put on your benches. So yeah, anyway, I hope that you have enjoyed this video, and if you have, don't forget to give us a good old thumbs up, and also do make sure that you hit that subscribe button as well, as it really does help us out, and it means that you won't miss any of our upcoming how to make it videos, or any of our latest videos with the latest stock and products that are coming into our shop. So until next time, happy modelling.